were.
For this is we became, and the women were becoming.
Hello, welcome to or welcome back
to our channel and our podcast. Y'all, we have missed y'all so much, but of course, happy belated spring break. We took one, hope that you took one. And if you celebrate Easter, happy belated Easter, happy belated Passover, and happy ongoing Ramadan.
Yes, please.
To all the ladies out there, do your thing. You know, we appreciate your faiths and your perspectives. And we're glad that you're here with us.
Yes, I'm doing a lot to everybody.
Is that how you say it?
I mean, I hope so. Shalom. The Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. You know, all the things. And so if you are new, let me introduce myself. My name is Paola, or Lola, whatever is easier. And to the left of me we have...
Esther. And that's it. There's no nickname. There's literally no way to shorten it. It's 2 syllables.
You could go E.
No.
Hey, E.
People go E, and I go, please don't. Like, please don't. Like, I
think about Gossip Girl. You know how they're like, hey B, hey S.
You know, I actually never watched Gossip Girl. This should be no surprise to you, but...
I'm hurt. It is a beautiful American pastime to watch
feel
those.
like The Hill...
The Hills is different. It was like a reality.
90210.
That was like in the 90s, you know? But I think staple, you have to watch Gossip Girl.
Gossip Girl, what's the other one with those
You
two
watched
little white girls?
First of all, Pretty Little Liars had all the little white girls, and you watched that for a bit.
I watched a season and a half, and if I'm going to be held to the fire for watching for us, I love a good murder mystery. Okay, I thought that they were serious. No, I thought they were serious.
And this took a season and a half to realize,
to figure out that they were pulling my bleeping chain. They were shenanigans. At some point, when someone disrespects you, you have to go, oh, this is going to be ongoing.
Yes.
Like, you've got to catch your red flags. I don't even think, was it season? It might have been the close of season 2. Like, I remember coming in and out during season 2. What was the season when, like, they were like, it's Ezra?
I think it might, I forget what season. I didn't watch it, like, ongoing. I feel like I was very bored from the beginning.
Really?
I was like, I don't like this, and I'm like, I hate this fake lesbian relationship because it's not giving me any chemistry. And mind you, Bianca Boston is gorgeous. And if you ain't got no chemistry with Bianca, there might be something wrong with your acting skills. I do like Shay Mitchell.
I do.
And I liked her and you, and I like her little furniture, or what is it?
Her travel, her luggage line.
But it was giving me very dry. It was giving me
I didn't feel the chemistry there.
I'm like, am I supposed to believe this or not?
But I was like, maybe it's just not for me. That's why I thought I didn't get the chemistry. I just thought it's not for me, so I just didn't.
Maya was great, but what she was giving me was very bland.
But you know what it was? I felt like that season, when they kind of led us to believe that it was Ezra, and at the close of the season or whatever, like they had or a part of the season they showed like his room where he was actually watching all of them, and he had cameras in all their lives.
That must have been past season 2 then.
I don't know, but it was just, it made it look like 1,000% it could be nobody else but Ezra.
And it was.
And then they were like, it's not. And I was like, so you want me to believe that a grown man who has cameras implanted in the lives of minor children,
who is dating a minor,
is not the bad guy?
All right.
I was like, unplug. We're done.
Yeah. I will say this, then, if that's the case, don't watch Gossip Girl, because it starts very strong, and then it starts like testing your intelligence in ways.
That's what I feel like it was. Like, you're disrespecting me.
I feel like mid-season 3, beginning of season 4, I'm like, y'all are on crack and you're expecting me to smoke crack. I'm not gonna drink the Kool-Aid. The main character Serena is like this like very, she's supposed to be someone who used to be a partier, but she's reformed. And so the first season, spoiler alert, if you haven't watched, she gets like roofied by an old friend of hers. Yes. When I tell you, she repeatedly gets roofied throughout the series. She repeatedly takes drinks from people. To the point where I'm just like, why are you trusting anybody? You roofied me once, that's enough. Don't ever roll up on me with any cup that is without a top. Hell, don't even give me a bottle of water. Unless I go pick it up, I'm good on this.
I'll be walking around strapped like, oh, you want a Poland Spring? I also have Dasani. I got a mix.
I'm good. I would drink water at home, and then also towards the end of the series, Gossip Girl really wasn't. The idea of who Gossip Girl wasn't that important, like A, because that's the whole thing. You want to know who is A, because A's really fucking with people's lives. Gossip Girl was just exposing people, and so I don't think it was really important to even know who Gossip Girl was at that point. At that point, she was just a gossip blog. So they made the main character Dan Gossip Girl. And so, yes.
Danielle or Dan?
Dan.
I'm
Dan
asking
Humphreys.
because it's saying Dan Gossip Girl. Okay.
Dan Humphreys, who is a main character who's in love with Serena, is Gossip Girl. And mind you, Gossip Girl exposes Serena, his own baby sister, his mom and dad's infidelity. So
and he loves these people.
But the thing is, there are points in the story, right, where Gossip Girl has what's called like a Gossip Girl blast, exposing something, and Dan is reading it in real time and is surprised and angered because sometimes it was about shit about him. So what happened?
That's a good way to throw somebody off the trail, though.
But the thing was, I'm gonna tell you what happened.
They just ran out of people.
They were trying to divert expectations, and that is a horrible way to go. When you divert expectations, because I guess there was a leak about who Gossip Girl was, they're like, actually, it's Dan, and I'm like, this doesn't work. This does not work at all.
And this is the show that you want me to watch.
I feel like if you watch the first 2.5 seasons, it's really good. It's very witty. It's like I think it gives a lot of like 2008.
Okay.
You know, it's very. I think it's very funny. It's well written. After a certain point, it gets a little stupid, and then you hop off.
But I mean, this is the thing. I think that we just have to know when to hop off.
Yes.
I think that's what I'm doing now, and I wish more people would do that on the show that we're going to discuss today, which is Love Is Blind.
Amor as cegas in Portuguese. Yes, love, as our good friend Shake would say, is blurry.
It is a very blurry thing, that love. Bro, I'm like, can we first go through the couples? Can we like just first talk about, like, let's talk about first like how you reacted when you first met them, like when you were first introduced to like some of our main characters.
So let's read off who the main characters or the pairings off. Jackie and Marshall. Okay. And Jackie was also interested in Josh, but so between her and Marshall, or her love triangle was Josh and Marshall. Then we have Micah and Paul. Yeah. And Paul was interested in Micah and this other girl, Amber. Okay. Then there was Zach and Irina at first.
It's laughing for me. She's like, I can't even be serious right now.
I wrote it as Zach, Liz, and Irina, and we'll discuss what that is. And then there's Kwame, not Kwame, and Chelsea, which I guess his name is also Alex. I don't know. But on Love Is Blind, he goes by Kwame and Chelsea. And then there's Brett and Tiffany. I said with no bias. So these are our couples. So I feel like, let's start with the people we're rooting for. Brett and Tiffany.
Oh my God. Brett and Tiffany.
He is fine as hell.
First of all, I said Brett was just walking around here undiscovered in the street.
36 years old and not one baby, not one wife. Interesting.
You giving me a hope for a better tomorrow, Brett. I said,
he really did.
He really, really did. And you know what? Like, I was like, I'm going to have to start relocating to major cities.
I want to go to Seattle. I've been texting these girls like, hey, I just really want to go to Seattle.
Really has. And I'm like, I'm not going to Seattle. Like, I have to go somewhere where there's like, it's like, isn't it more, it rains more like there than anywhere else in the U.S.?
It is a rainier habitat, but I've heard the summers are beautiful.
And you know what though? Like, it's just a no for me, dog.
I just want to go. Maybe there's another Brett.
It's giving weekender.
I want to try for sure. But yes. Oh, Tiffany and Brett. Tiffany's 36 and Brett is 35, or we're roughly the same age.
So they're in the same gap, and you know I love that for them. I love that
age appropriate.
Yes, I love that Brett came in looking for a grown woman. Yes, I love that, and even if he found love with a younger woman, I think that he knew what he was getting, and Tiffany was seasoned. Yes. That she knew herself thoroughly, and I love that Tiffany said, like, you know, I came in wondering if I should be honest about my age, and if, you know, that's something I should be, you know, intimidated by. But she was like, no, like, I've lived life. This is who I am. I'm going in as myself, and there's nothing to be ashamed of. And I was like, it touched me.
It did. She didn't touch me. She gave me very, like, put together. And it's not a bad thing. I don't know who Tiffany is as a person. While they were getting to know each other, I learned a lot about Brett, his brother dying, who he was, he didn't go to college, he kind of like, he's a self-made man. I don't know what Tiffany does. I know she's a salesperson, she went to college, and she looked cute. I didn't get very much from her, but I love them together.
Yes, I'll validate that.
And I love when they first see each other and they're like both looking at each other like, oh shit, you fine.
You know what? And I love how genuine it was. Like, I love how, because sometimes, like, and it's okay to be shocked. Like, you're doing Love is Blind, it's okay to walk out and be like, ooh, my God, I didn't
expect that.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't, ooh, my. You know? But I love how they both saw each other and you can see in their eyes.
The mutual attraction.
They're like, oh,
It's on.
Oh, hot dog, hot diggity dog.
I will say, Netflix, you disrespectful. That whole scene when they were in Mexico and Brett was like, get on top of me. And then she got on top of him and they were all up in her ass crack. I said, Netflix.
I said, can you leave these two grown folk alone?
Please.
Read the room.
You didn't need to be all up in her crevices like that. I didn't need all of that.
But you know what? She looked good from the back. Since y'all was trying to show the view, she looked good from the back. But I wish that they hadn't shown that.
For sure. I feel like this is real exploitive.
But I'm also like, you know what? Obviously, they knew the cameras was there.
I don't know if they knew that they were zooming in like that. That was the only thing. Of
course. But let me tell you something. I'm like, as much as like I enjoy this show, I'm like, I feel like you have to have the presence of mind to be like, hey, we're in the midst of company always.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And they're gonna say, you know, you're not gonna get a little loving, but I'm not going on top of you, sir.
Oh no.
My daddy watches television.
I'm not.
My mammy watches television. Christ watches television. I will not get up here.
I'm not gonna have proof of my debauchery, okay?
Right.
I can imagine my mom like, so this is what you do.
Right.
I came to this country and this is what you do, and I'm like, you know what had happened was, you know, the cameraman zoomed in. He's like, no, but you hopped on top of him like a horse ready to be mounted. Taught you these things.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, you know, but I love them. They were both very just. They came in very authentically. They were just two grown folk with their stuff together, really looking for a connection. And I'm so glad that they found that in one another. They really gave me hope for those of us who are like, oh God, like when will it be my time? Because like you could tell like they were at the point where they were like, you know what? I'm satisfied in myself. I would love this, but like maybe it's just not for me. And when they both got it, I was like, these two really deserve this reward in one another.
I'm so happy. I know that the reunion is going to air tonight at 8 o'clock, and I really hope that they're together.
I know they are. I know they are.
I mean, a fine man like that, he's a good man's man. A good man.
I'm like, yeah, lovely.
Tiffany and Brett were the only two people, or the only couple that I was rooting for.
Okay, so I was also rooting for Bliss and Zach. And if you haven't already watched, and if you don't plan on watching, that's totally okay. So there's this man, Zach. He's a criminal defense lawyer, right?
Yes.
And so there's these two women that he forms a connection with in the pods. One of which is Irina, who's like this Russian girl. She's she's nice and thick. Like, it's giving like Instagram model that you caught in real life. You know what I mean? That's a really good way to put it. You know what I mean? Like, takes great photos, I bet. And then you're like, oh, it's close enough to what I thought you were, but also something's off. Like, something's not the same. It's not the same 100%. I'll give you that. And then you have Bliss, who is literally the embodiment of her name. It has been a bliss getting to know her. Really? Yes. Interesting. you. She's like, interesting. Well, please continue, explain. She is sweet. She is kind. She has boundaries. She is very firm and respectful. Mm-hmm. And I really she's just this beautiful biracial goddess. She's giving us, Mariah Carey. Well, no, I don't think she looks like Mariah. I don't think Mariah Carey. What biracial person does she look like? What does she mix with, though? Because her dad's, like, white, and her mom's, like, Arabic. What does she mix with? I don't know what she's mixed with. But she's mixed. She's got something. She's got the Meghan Markle, Mariah Carey, can't put my finger where you're from look. That's that. Okay, yes, the ambiguity. Yes, it's very, like, where are you from? Like, where are you really from? Like, point on the globe, please. Like, tell me where your dad was born. Like, those questions. But no, she's this beautiful girl, and from the very beginning, the minute I met Bliss, I was like, oh, this girl is wonderful. Okay. Like, she is who she presents herself to be. Mm-hmm. Like, she's not acting more than or less than who she is. She's a woman who's really come into her own. Mm-hmm. And I feel like it's really, really important to mention that Irina's a lot younger. She's like 26, 27.
She's like maybe 3-4 years younger than them.
Yeah, no, I know. But, and I'm like, I think it's important to mention because like, and I mean, she's about our age, which is funny, but like, she acts very immaturely. Like there are times in like the pod space when they're living with the girls, like she's like peeping on people crying, they're laughing, they're snickering, her and her friend Micah, who ultimately ends up with Paul. And it's funny because her and Bliss are just so different. They're very, very different women. And so when Zach is like, you know, I'm really torn between you and Irina, like I love how she's like, that's kind of off because we're vastly different people.
Sure.
And she's like, but you know what? Whoever you pick will determine for me your judgment of character.
And he took offense to that, which
and you know what I thought? I thought that was so interesting that he took offense to that.
I was like, oh, you must really feel that this person's not a good person for you to say something. That's what my brain went. Like, this person might be doing things that I'm not aware of for you to question my judgment of character.
That's what I'm saying.
He took it way differently.
He was like, well, like, you're just gonna have to trust me, and I was like, and like, here's my thing, like, I thought that she said it very respectfully. She was not rude at all. She's not giving you an ultimatum. She's like, she's not like, if you pick her, you're a bad person. That's not even the slightest. But she was like, you know what? Like, this will show me your judgment of character.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and you know what? I was like, I love when women of color are right. I love it. I was like, and you know what? I really feel like, I hate to say it, we have to be clairvoyants or something.
You must.
Like, the ancestors must be whispering in our ears. Because she was like, there's just no way, no how that like, that we're in the same race. Like, we're just not. We're just too different. And every step of the way, I felt like Bliss went out of her way to bake Zach cupcakes for this. It was his birthday in the pods. You know, she went out of her way to like, because he was like, and then to the point at which she takes accountability and goes, but you know what, because you care about Irina and I don't want to make this decision more, you know, difficult for you, she went out of her way to be like, you know what, Irina, like, I want us to be cordial with one another. I don't want us to have beef. Like, I think it puts stress on both of our relationships with him. Like, let's move forward with that. And she also tells him that, not to manipulate him. And that's the thing. Like, I think that Bliss seemed too good to be true for him.
Gotcha, yeah. And so Zach decides ultimately, while in the pods, to choose who?
Irina. He chooses Irina. And it's funny because Irina she really gave me, I just want to be picked vibes. Not like I care who picks me, not like I'm actually in love with someone.
Oh no, I'm here for a free trip to Mexico.
Right.
Pick
it's
me.
Giving, I just want to be picked.
I want to be picked because I want to go on a vacation and be on camera and look cute and maybe get some followers.
There's that, but it's also like the fundamental feeling of like, I don't even like someone, but I want to know that person is, it's like the playground thing. Like, you ever been like a kid in the playground?
She's like, I want to win this
right,
round.
but it doesn't matter that you actually care about me. Like, I just want to be the popular little miss thing that was picked.
You know, I could see that, but because when they first met, she was like, I don't like this man. This man looked weird to me. He looked like a cartoon. First of all, if that's like one of the first things you say to me, immediately no. Wrap it up. I'm like, okay, bitch.
Like, okay, thank you.
Yeah. So, but I think what happened was, I think she thought he was a lot hotter than he was. And she was probably thinking, well, I already said yes. My best friend's getting engaged to Paul. We're just going to go on vacation. Because if she already got picked, that was enough. She already won the thing. She could just walk away from it. She didn't give me like, oh, I want to get picked. I think she just really wanted a free vacation and some clout. I really think some people are signing up for the show. So he picks Irina. They go away on their honeymoon. And she, like, don't want to be near this man.
But you know what? She acted exactly the way she acted
in the
pods, the way with the women. But Zach couldn't see that. And it's funny because it felt like everything Bliss was saying
was true,
was coming to light. And he was just seeing it piece by piece. And literally, I think it took not 36 hours for him to realize.
That's what he said, but it took them like 3 days. So at the end of the trip, they're like, we're going to go our separate ways. I think he thought she was hot, and that's why he hung on.
Oh, yeah. Because she, you know what? She talked like a hot girl. You know what I'm saying?
She is a hot girl. Okay, so I'm going to say something real controversial. Some of you girls are hot girls, but y'all ain't pretty. Some pretty girls aren't hot. I think hotness is equated to like sexuality or eliciting sexual desire. You can be hot because maybe you dress well, you do your makeup, whatever, but to be gorgeous and beautiful in spirit and body, that's something different. But we do love some hot girls. Listen, Megan Thee Stallion is a perfect example of being beautiful and pretty and a hot girl. Sometimes you can be both. Sometimes you're one or the other. And Irina is very much hot girl, and I feel like hot girls get free drinks. They get the attention. And so I think sometimes that really changes how you treat other people, because you view that other people put you on a pedestal. So when you think you some hot shit, it goes to your head. That's what I got from Irina. And so she was like, I'm on vacation. I'm going to get some cute flicks. It is what it is. There are men wherever I'm at who want to be with me. And so that's what it is. And I think she looked hot to Zach, and that's why he stuck around. Because he said she looked like Megan Fox.
That one, I was hurt for Megan Fox.
I said, that's disrespectful.
I said, this is quite hurtful.
And I feel like it was a perfect, it could have been a meme. What I ordered and what I got. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that's why he stuck around those 3-4 days. And then he went home, and then he's like, I made a mistake. And then he met Bliss.
Literally, guess what though? Like, and again, beautiful girl.
She's
beautiful
gorgeous.
Girl. And my thing is like, the beauty radiates from within.
Mm-hmm.
I hate to be so cheesy,
It is,
but literally Bliss just walks into like a little restaurant where he's like, hey, like I'd love to just meet, like let's just meet, and
Yeah.
you could see in his eyes he was literally
perked
like
up. And I was surprised because afterwards they keep dating and then they get engaged, and so spoiler alert, they get married. The whole entire time I was like, I don't feel like she's attracted to me either.
I think she finds him cute.
Well, I mean, to each their own. I just can't live that. I can't live that lifestyle. But anyways, I was like,
I think she finds him cute. I don't think if she found him ugly, she would have stayed.
I don't know. I feel like, but the point being was, she's a better woman than me. Because if I done told you, this bitch is evil, evil, like put in Merman and be screaming evil. If I told you this girl is doing trifling, and you need to really think about it before picking her, and you still pick her. Don't roll up on me like, I made a mistake. Oh, duh.
I told you.
I dead ass told you. It was on camera. And then so I was surprised it got as far as it did. I don't think Bliss's dad was nice to Zach.
I think he had every right not to be nice.
But everything he was saying,
was
I was thinking in my head. I'm like, y'all just know each other a week. Y'all were not even engaged the whole entire time.
True, but I mean, he literally only spent, 3 days in Mexico? So he lost 3 days. Yeah. But my thing is, I will say, I applaud her. And I say this because, I know she was fighting her pride. Because me?
But she got her digs in every so often.
Oh, she did. But you know what? She didn't keep it going. She was like, I'm going to be upset for maybe a week. And then she was like, but if we want a healthy relationship, we're going to have to move past this. Yeah. And I love that she did that, and she rose to the occasion. And you could tell that was someone who was really ready to be loved and find love and work to be in love with someone. Gotcha. Because she was like, I'm not going to hold this thing over your head forever. I think that would have made her ugly. I felt like Bliss really was like, you know what, I'm not going to let my pride stand in the way of something that I've always wanted with someone who might actually really be good for me. And that is so mature, because I'm telling you right here, right now, I don't know that I could have done it.
I feel like I would have a hard time getting past it.
Yeah.
I honestly speaking, I would feel like a runner-up all the time.
Yeah. I don't know if I feel like runner-up all the time, but I would not have accepted his proposal.
Yeah, no, that's
I would have been like, I would really love to keep getting to know you.
Yeah.
And if we really feel this way about each other, that should be no issue. Mm-hmm. But at this time, I cannot accept the proposal.
Yeah, I definitely would not have said yes.
That wouldn't shock me. But you know what?
Yeah, I was like, girl. I said, man. I mean, there's a reason why I backed up. You know what I mean? I really thought she would just date him.
I thought so too. I don't know. I felt like, I think that they've genuinely found good partners in one another. Will it last? I don't know.
I think Zach is a lover boy. I feel bad because he was out here, singing "Irina, I love you" on national TV, and that's what I'm talking about. Things like that.
Yeah, you can't take that back.
I would have been like, okay, babe.
I'm like, do me a favor, babe. Don't ever sing to me. Once you sing to her,
don't do it to me.
Don't do it to me. I am very particular about those things. I like things
also,
to be special.
It was off key. and she's laughing.
Can please, can people stop singing on these reality TV shows?
Hannah.
You're not on American Idol. It's not The Voice. You don't have to impress us. When you go on your private time, if you feel like you need to serenade these women, you can serenade them.
Yeah.
But don't come on national television, Kwame, and sing off key. I just want the real thing. I'm like, oh my God. I was like, this can't be real.
But Chelsea ate it up, so I guess we better as well.
But you know what I'm saying? But you know, when you love somebody, you love that. You love that stuff from them.
It's like when your kid comes back home with like a piece of paper that they drew on. You're like, Picasso, I like it.
I'm like, yeah, I would be like, mommy loves this. It's gonna go in her special gallery. it's not gonna go. It's not gonna go on the fridge. It's gonna go in mommy's special gallery.
In the book, at the bottom of the bookshelf. To never be seen again.
I will dedicate an album to my kids. Like I'll be like, this is so and so's art book. Like this is, I love this. Thank you for giving this to me. The public does not have to bear witness to your intimate art. It doesn't.
It's just for us.
It's just for us.
Yeah, but I mean, I think Zach is a lover boy, so I feel like he is somebody who is really in love with her. I don't doubt that he loves her. He is in love with her. He's ready to jump through hoops, and so I wish him the very best.
I do, and you know what? Actually, who's not a character but was a character? Bliss's dad. I actually really respect and appreciate him.
He was rude as hell.
You know what? As he should be though. Like this
really?
is, and let me tell you why.
Why should anyone be rude?
I don't think he was rude. I think he was upfront, and let me tell you why. Like, debatable. We're gonna have to agree to disagree. And I say this because I'm so sick and tired of all of these reality TV shows of these dads being like, yes, just go take my daughter and gallivant in the sun.
Yeah.
And I don't like it. I don't like it. I feel like a father is there for protection. He is there to, really interrogate this person and whatnot. And like, I will not give you my daughter's hand. I will not give you my blessing if I don't feel like she's going to be secure in you. And I feel like, again, like you have the shows like The Bachelor, The Bachelorette, like this show, Love is Blind, that does it all the time. And I'm like, you're really cheapening, what a parent's blessing and protection looks like. And I think that her father, yes, there were some points I wish he hadn't brought up her sister. That to me was like, that's a low dig. Keep that in-house. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He could have just been like, I'm not comfortable giving you my blessing at this time because I don't know you and I don't trust you with my daughter. Because he's absolutely right. I'm not trusting anybody with my kid in 20-something days.
No, I agree with his sentiment. I think it's the way he went about it. And like, there's that
daddies are supposed to be defensive.
But I think there's a difference between being defensive and being rude. I think defensive is like, I'm going to keep my guard up and I'm going to hear what you're saying, but I've already made my decision, which is this is way too soon. But at one point in time, Zach is talking about his like
aspirations.
His aspiration, what he's doing, and this man is just in one ear rolling. He does not want to be there, and I get that. You don't have to want to be there. Your daughter just showed up with a random man, after 15 days after he picked another bitch. I understand you're not, but like I think there is some type of couth that we should be expecting from our parents to like be nice to people that we bring home. Now, I don't know what they are culturally, and maybe this is considered disrespectful or haram to show up with a random man that you have not been vetted by. But I was like, yo, you rude as hell. Especially when he said about the daughter. And then afterwards in his confessional, he talks a lot. And I'm like, okay, sir. You're being mean. You're being a mean girl. You're being a Micah.
Listen,
chill out.
You know what? I'm not gonna lie. Like, was it super smooth? No, but I think it was real. And I think that a lot of the times, like, we live in this day and age where everyone tries to say everything perfectly and articulately, but this man was put on the spot. This is his baby girl.
I don't think it's his baby girl, because he got a lot of baby girls, apparently. And when they were walking her down the aisle, Liz's mom said, oh, when you say I do, we say we do. And he was like, no, you say I do. And I'm like, God, we know, Dad. We know you don't want this.
But you know what? That's real. That's real.
It's honesty.
No, it's honest. Like, and my thing is, I'm so sick and tired of seeing these parents like, we support you, boo boo bear. He's gonna go beat you black and blue, but if that's what you want, we support you, boo boo bear. Like, no, and you know what? I'm speaking from a place, from my own experience. Like, I know my parents are not nice word people.
Okay.
I will say that. Like, my parents, my dad's super jolly guy. You will love him. Let you be a man. He will be like, this bum? And he'll say it publicly. He's like, he don't even got a beard that connects. Like,
his hairline up to here.
Right. You know what? Do like your hairline and take a few steps back, sir.
Back up.
You know what I'm saying?
Again, my daughters.
Right, like he can't afford your life. My dad will play a man.
Okay.
Like, you know what I'm saying? But you know, and I'm like, it's not, I'm not saying that you have to disrespect someone, but I'm like, as a father, it is your job to protect. And I feel like, especially on these reality TV shows, they really cheapen and bastardize it because it's a beautiful thing for, I think, a parent, but especially a father who has been guarding his daughter for all those years to be like, I'm like for example, when Tiffany's father brought her to the altar, he was like, take care of, I'm trusting you to take care of my daughter. Mm-hmm. If my father can't say that to the man I'm getting ready to marry, I will have doubt. Mm-hmm. And I will likely be like, we need to do this another time when Charlie is more comfortable. Because that man has actually provided for me.
No, I agree that if, you know, Bliss's dad is saying I have these concerns, that she should take it into consideration. Yeah. I agree with his sentiment. Like, y'all are doing this way too soon. I just didn't like how he went about it.
Fair.
And I get it. Maybe, you know, everybody's different. But, like, if you know for a fact I love somebody, you think you acting like this is going to make me push this man away? Have you ever seen people like, my man, my man, my man, my lady, my lady, my lady? Next thing you know, people are not spending Christmases together. That should be happening all the time.
That's true.
And so I do think there's a way to go about it, like, okay, I'm going to be courteous, but I'm going to be stern with you. And I don't think I got that from her dad. And like her little sister was wearing sunglasses the whole entire time.
That kid, I was like, hey, you know what? And again, cultural differences.
I said that's real
in
rude.
my culture, you don't wear sunglasses to the table.
Like you're rude.
Before you sat down, somebody would have corrected you real quick, and it might have hurt. Be careful who you playing with.
Yeah.
My mama's table, you would have come up in here with your reflective shades.
I said,
you better have pink eye. I said, you better.
And that's what threw me off. And I also think maybe I was comparing Bliss's dad with Bliss's mom.
Absolutely.
Because Bliss's mom was like, I'll be your mom too. And I could see why you're like, hey, this is a lot. Real soon you don't know Zach like that. But I appreciated how she went into it. But I also think that maybe her mom was too open.
But you know
and
what?
Too accepting.
There goes the balance.
But then I think it makes sense that Bliss's dad and Bliss's mom eat together. I saw it.
Yes and no, but I did see what I did love seeing in her parents were like her mother's very much 100% the nurturing type, and her father's very much the defensive protector. And you know what? They both care very much about their child, That was very abundantly clear. And so I'm like, you know what? Like, I am glad that Bliss comes from a place where she knows she is loved, and I'm like, and that she can make this decision knowing, because her dad was still there walking her down the aisle. Like, hey, you don't have to do this if you don't want to. We could pull the car around, type of vibes. We could pull the car around. Mm-hmm. Which means even though I don't agree with what you're doing, I support you as your father and I'm standing beside you. That I think is a big deal. And I think that spoke more volume than even his previous thing. But that was just me. That was just me. I loved Bliss's dad, and I wish we had more dads like it. Period.
You're like, team dad, Bliss's dad.
No, seriously. I wish we had more dads like it. Because I tell you, every time I'm on The Bachelor and they meet this stranger man and they're like, I'll give you my daughter's blessing.
Especially with The Bachelor, because he's still seeing 3 other people. I'm like,
right. My dad would have been like, you're not even welcome in that home.
Please get.
He would have been like, these cameras are not welcome. This man is not welcome. If you don't stop acting a mess, you won't be welcome. I'm like, he's like, get in here. Get in here. You should be ashamed. Get in here. Closes the door.
Maritza would just be like, no, English. I don't understand. I turn around and be like, get them out my house right now.
No, literally.
Now.
Literally.
And I'm like, okay.
Literally.
Come back tomorrow, but know that you can never come back.
Honestly, can we discuss that? Like, that's a love story in and of itself. I don't know how these kids are convincing their parents to show up on TV and be a part of these games. My parents, absolutely. Like, there's not a dollar amount in the world that you could get Charlie and Monday to act.
And if you got them on there, it would be great television, because they would literally be looking side-eye. I could just see the Haitian side-eye the whole entire time, just like.
I'm like, it'll be worse than that. Girl, they'll be eating. This man be like, I love your daughter. My dad, I can't do this. Like, he just get up and leave. Like,
I could just see them just like talking shit in Creole, and then just the subtitles, just, I love Esther, and they're like, and whatever they're saying, like, I don't know where this man's from, but he needs to go back there and leave our child alone.
Literally, I'm telling you, but it blows my mind. Every season, I'm like, someone's parents are just not gonna show up. And
I mean, some parents have not shown up on Love is Blind.
This is true. Kwame being one.
I think Raven's mom didn't show up.
Raven
from last season.
Do I know Raven?
SK Raven.
Yes. mess. Okay?
Her family didn't show up. Like, I think there are people on Love is Blind, their parents won't show up because they're like shenanigans. And it's happened at Love is Married at First Sight too.
As well,
Where people are just like, I'm not signing up for this nonsense. Like, I don't understand what you're doing here.
And I'm with it. I'm sorry. Like, I never cry a tattoo tear because I know exactly what I'm doing. I know who my parents are. Like, let's not, like, people know who their parents are. I don't know why they be crying on television. Like, I'm so sad my mammy not picking up. You surprised?
You're real surprised.
I'm like, let my mom have me to defrost chicken that I didn't defrost. She won't talk to me for a week. Now I'm getting married to some stranger on television, and I'm upset. I know who she was.
And you spring it up on her. You want her to show up on camera to be smiling ear to ear, like, yes, I'm so happy. So happy for my baby.
You know
like, no, I'm not. I'm quite the opposite.
But can we talk about Kwame and Chelsea? Can we talk about that couple?
Oh, Kwame.
I'm surprised you're rooting for Chelsea as an individual.
I was rooting for Chelsea because in the pod, she seemed like she had a great sense of character, a good judge of character. Because she had Micah and Irina's number. She was like, y'all are being mean girls. And I just feel like sometimes throughout the time when they were showing the relationship between Micah and, Kwame, now I'm saying his name wrong. It's Kwame, but they gotta call him Kwame. But Kwame and Chelsea, there were times where she would ask him things, and he would give her like very vague answers, and she's like, "You're giving me vague answers. This is what I'm asking." So I was like hoping she would open up her eyes and be like, "You know what? I don't feel appreciated or desired here, and I got to go." But she was fiending for that peanut because she was like, "I love me some Kwame. It is me, myself, and some Kwame." And she was like, "That's my man, my man, my man."
She was on the my man energy.
And I was like, what is he doing in that bedroom?
I knew what he was doing.
I can't be
He was giving her that Ghanaian yata.
Have you ever watched 90 Day Fiance?
No.
There was this guy, his name is, what is his name? It escapes me now. If y'all know who I'm talking about, they call it the yami. The yam. The yami.
No.
So this, oh my God, what is his name? His artist name is Soulja Boy, and he's from Nigeria. And he's like,
Soulja Boy, man.
It's more African, it's obviously West African. And so he was like talking to this woman, Kimberly, who's this white lady. He's like, you'll never be the same because Nigerian men have yams down there. He's like, I'm gonna give you the yummy, the yummy. And I was like, is that what's going on between Chelsea and Kwame?
Maybe.
Was he giving her the Ghanaian yummy? And if that is the case, she needs some help. She needs an intervention.
She's hypnotized, y'all.
She needs help.
You know what? I just felt like I could understand so much why Kwame and Chelsea got together. Mm-hmm. And
I could not. I could see why.
In the pods, I meant.
I could see why he picked her. Like, I could see because she's such a great person. And he kept saying, she reassures me. She reassures me. She makes me feel wanted. I don't know what she wanted so badly from Kwame. I was like, what?
I think she wanted a reciprocation.
But, like, if he not giving it to me, I really was like, what about him screams, pick me?
You want to know what it was? And this is the craziest part. This is legit what I thought of Kwame. I literally said the worst part about people like Kwame is that they believe their own lies. Like they, and I'm not even gonna say their own lies. That's a bad way to put it. They are unable to distinguish who they think they are from who they actually are.
Gotcha.
Because there was quite a breadth of dissonance between who Kwame thought he showed up as and who he actually showed up as. And I think that he believed he was this noble, righteous, you know what I'm saying, self-aware human being, and that he was considerate in all these things and above some of the pettiness and the childishness. Mm-hmm. And his actions proved him wrong day in and day out.
Him in the poolside, Micah giggling.
Oh, he could not be pulled away from Micah.
First of all, he was out here crying.
I was taking drinks, came back to the pile, was like, oh!
I'm gonna kill myself. You're like, you've never laid eyes on her. Relax. Chill out. And then he laid eyes on her and he lit up. He lit up. And so that's why I was like rooting for Chelsea to like see, because I'm like, he is actively showing disinterest in certain times and interest when he shouldn't be. like at the party,
birthday party.
Him talking to Micah and asking her if she's like regretting or has second thoughts about her and Paul, and I'm like, at your woman's birthday party?
I'm like, I know a lot of the show is also produced, and here's the thing, like, and I can only say this, I've never had the experience. I'm not gonna make it on myself on television.
Oh, for sure.
They'd be like, go talk to so-and-so. I won't. It is my man's birthday party. I won't. It is my man's birthday party. I won't. You think I'm gonna what? If I was Tiffany, for example, if I had a Brett, you think I'm gonna go talk to Marsha during Brett's party? Baby, no. Baby, what do you need? Do you need me to fix you a plate, honey?
I would go into my confessional and be like, I will not speak to him. I would be like, I refuse to be in the same vicinity within 10 feet of each other.
I won't.
But the thing about that is, like, you guys talked to have closure at the pool party. I thought
y'all
it was
got close, all right.
Oh my God! I'm like, is it not done?
No.
And I'm just like, I'm disgusted. And I believe wholeheartedly when Kwame called up his mom, that shit was fake as fuck.
Oh,
she was not
absolutely. You want to know how I know he wasn't talking to his mother? He was speaking English the whole time.
I said
he was a child of immigrants. I have never. I said, you got the Americans fooled.
And I'm like,
you don't got the immigrants fooled. I was like, I'm telling you that right here. You gotta get on the phone with Charlie and have a very intimate conversation. Tell him I'm about to blow my life up to smithereens and be like. And furthermore, I'm like, are you? It was also the way he was using his vocabulary, like, and not to say that immigrants do not have an expansive vocabulary, but I feel like there are certain conversations in which, especially when you're trying to get through to your parents, you're going in with the native son.
Yeah, yeah.
You're going in with the understand me, mommy.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like literally. You know what I'm saying? Like. There are some conversations, even if you're not fluent, you're going into Kringlish, you're going into Spanglish.
Yes.
Like, there's just no. I was like, sir, he said English the whole time. I said, and what do the Ghanaians speak? Is it Twi?
I do not know. I'm sorry to any Ghanaian.
I might be wrong. It might be Twi.
I thought the national language was French.
Is it?
I don't
think they were the ones that look it up. But I feel like, but you know what? He did say he moved to the U.S. when he was like 8. And when he said that too, not to say that when you move here when you're younger, it discredits your story, whatever. But I was like, maybe he doesn't speak it. But I was like, I don't know. Maybe I don't. But I just felt like I did not.
Very business professional.
Yes, it just did not feel like you were talking to a family member.
I understand you will not be in attendance.
Right. I have not yet
to miss. You will, and I'm like, excuse you? You will be missed?
I'm like. This is your mother?
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's not giving love is there.
No. And I don't think you have to be like super affectionate, but the idea is like, hey, like, I just feel like, no. I said no.
It just felt very produced.
It was.
And I was like, we ain't heard a thing on the other side. I was like, what if he's calling the Domino's pizza? Like, we would not know.
Yeah, it gives me, he didn't dial. It gave me, I'm just gonna give you side profile and just talk what I gotta talk.
Right, and I was like.
Because Chelsea was like, oh, do you want me to like be in the room with you? Or no. And he was like, no. I'm like, so if you're going to be speaking English, why did it matter if she was not in the room? Because
I don't know, but maybe it is just me. I don't know. But me, when I talk to my parents, if I'm trying to have a very intimate, very serious conversation, it was not her language I would have used.
No, I wouldn't have.
I don't think so.
And especially when it's serious, because you're like, literally, my mom will call me constantly, and I'm like, hi, mom, da, da, da. The minute I'm like, oh, un momento, mommy. Just know, it's the rap. It's the rap. Me and mommy are going to talk into Spanish. It's not.
We're switching over now. This is now a private conversation. And that's the thing, like, I feel like everyone picks up the phone, like, hey, like, you know what I'm saying? And then it's like, no, vamos a seguir.
One second. Okay.
S'il vous plaît. I'm like, yo,
and you have that face, you're like, yeah, this is a pleasant conversation.
The struggle of immigrant children, I tell you, you pick it up and they're cussing you out and you're like, yes.
And so now you were laughing at me. And that makes it worse. And you're like,
no, I mean, it's clearing my throat, yes.
Yes. Please.
Continue with this brazen cuss out.
Yeah.
But like, it just did not feel legit, and I feel like, and I don't know, it just didn't feel like he made an effort to get his mother there. But again, I'm just guessing. I can only assume.
And I also feel like it's known now that he auditioned for Married at First Sight at one point in time. I don't know what season, what city. But also he lives in Portland and wasn't really interested in moving to Seattle. I'm like, so what?
He was giving random excuses. He's like, the sky is blue. How can I marry Chelsea? How can I when the sky is blue?
How could it not be green? Honestly.
Just any reason under the sun, he was just looking to back out.
And I'm like, so why would you sign up to marry somebody who lives in Seattle?
You know what? Like,
Here's
the thing. Like, I feel like, again, Kwame does not recognize that there is a great breadth of space between who he thinks he shows up as. Like, everything he said was right, and every single time he would say his action would just literally belittle his words. Mm-hmm. They meant nothing. Like, and it really goes to show you that words are empty, and I feel like that's why it was so easy for Chelsea to buy it in the pods, because everything he said to her, like, is easy to buy and easily digestible. But I wish she had made the effort to be like, I need the words to match the actions out here, because they didn't. And let me tell you something. I'm not a jealous person. I'm really genuinely not. But you will not make an ass of me. At the pool, I would have been like, we're done here. And like, not even on some insecurity, because I think that a lot of times we get in our own heads and we're like, oh, I'm being insecure, yada. But I said, there's no reason why a man who loves you is having a full-blown 30-plus minute conversation.
This close to somebody.
All on her, like, oh, come here, girl. You know how it's like, come on, girl.
Yeah.
Girl, you
it's
know
like,
that
don't
was...
say that to me. It was
come
very
on.
hurtful.
You know that was... I think highly of you. I think highly of you. I think highly of you. Like, please love me. I think highly of you. Don't say that to me.
And the thing is, a lot of people think this is jealousy when I say things. It's not. Okay, so there's a saying in Spanish, or this phrase, darle lugar a alguien. It means give somebody their place. And it is not that you believe that anyone will snatch your man up. It's the fact that you give the illusion that it can be possible. You understand?
Right, yeah.
And so if you love me, you will have people respecting me.
Right, and your behavior dictates that.
And so I'm pretty sure now Micah feel real comfortable to do random things.
Micah felt very comfortable. She felt, the reason she was able to joke with you like that, first of all,
because he gave her the green light.
He gave her the green light. And let me tell you something right now. Like, 100%, ain't nobody was making that joke with Brett. He was like, excuse me? I earnestly wish that and I say this from the bottom of my heart, I wish that Kwame had done something this season to surprise me. Nothing he did surprise me.
I was surprised he said yes to Chelsea. I really thought he was going to dip.
I wanted him to. I think it would have been more integral for him to.
Oh, for sure. Do the right thing.
Right. Just be honest. Stop leading this woman on. Because you are a disappointment to her every single day by just pretending.
Yes.
Earnestly. Because she's so confused. Like, you can tell she's trying to figure it out. I'm going to tell you something. At a certain age, I want to say 24 and up, like, love is not confusing. Someone who wants you wants. It's really that simple. If you have to ask yourself, like, oh, I haven't heard from this person, or, oh, he's just torn up. If you have to tell yourself reasons as to why this person is not behaving in the manner that you want them to conduct themselves, they don't like you. Or they're unsure, they don't like you enough. This person is not your person. That's my general rule. Like, I'm not guessing with anybody. It should be very apparent that you like me, personally.
No, very good. And it was very apparent that she loved.
She made it crystal clear.
She's like, let me feed you some chocolate strawberries.
Oh, yeah. She loved her.
She's like rubbing his back and all this
every affirmation. Like, she loved Kwame before she met Kwame.
She loved that man. She loved, that's my man.
And that's why he couldn't say no, because he did not have a legitimate reason. And he knew it. Mm-hmm. He at least was connected to the persona that much to know she had not yet given him a legitimate reason.
Because she was a good person, just trying to be with another good person.
But you know what? Also, too, I wish she loved herself enough
to
be like, it's not gonna work.
She gave that in the pot. So I really feel like she's dick. I really think she's lost her mind, because she does not give me I don't love myself vibes, and it gives me she's very self-aware, and so I'm just like, I don't know what he did. I don't know if he got a golden tip or what, but the point being, the girl, she needs help. He's seduced her to the dark side or something. She needs baptism.
Yeah, I don't know. But I was like, I know she has the ability to see clearly what's going on.
Oh, for sure. And I feel like, I wonder what's going to happen at this reunion.
I feel like there's no way that they're going to make it. I hate to say it, no way.
Okay, so So Brett and Tiffany got married. Kwame and Chelsea, Bliss and Zach. I think those were the only three.
Those are the only. I thought those were the three that got married, and then Micah and Paul went, and they did not stay together. And I'm so happy.
I'm very happy, but I'm like rolling my eyes at Micah.
Really?
So she at the altar, right? She's asked first, do you accept or do you take Paul as your husband? And the normal response is, I do or I don't. And she goes, I think the right thing for me to do is to let you answer first. I think that bitch knew that they both did not want to be married. I think they both knew that it was not the time or that they were each other's person. But she did not want to be the villain. What she wanted was to be the lady with the waterworks. She wanted to be the white woman crying that people were like, oh my God, I can't believe he did that. I can't believe he did that. So instead of saying the answer what she wanted to say, which was no, she goes, what do you want to say? And then put the onus on Paul, like, you didn't pick me. This is the opportunity for you to tell me you wanted me. And what if that man had said, I do? You would have been stuck saying, I do too. Another Kwame and Chelsea.
I don't know. I think that if he said I do, I think she might have had it in her to say I don't. I think Micah perplexed me. Like,
really?
In the
That's
sense,
my keyword. Everything was
really. I'm like, no, she perplexed me in that I was like, it surprises me that you're surprised by yourself. Like, have you ever met someone who doesn't know themselves, so they surprise themselves?
Yes, the lack of self-awareness. Self-awareness.
For example, like, for those of you, again, who have not watched throughout the season, Micah was, and I don't want to say that she was a traditional mean girl, but she was very mean at times.
She was.
Like, her and Irina were very much Tweedledee and Tweedledum. They were partners in crime.
Smug. Oh,
yeah, and like they're sitting there making fun of the other girls, being inappropriate. Like, again, her being inappropriate with Kwame at the pool. Like, her, asking, "Oh, do you regret?" Like, da-da-da. Like, she knows she's being inappropriate. There's no way as a grown woman that you don't think that what you're doing is rude. Like, for example, Amber, when Paul breaks up with Amber to be with Micah, Amber is crying to someone. Like, she's like, "I'm heartbroken," and she's like, "Irina, oh my God, like, go see what's over there. Like, go see what's happening." Here's what you needed to know. She's crying. You can assume that Paul has done the deed and that she's looking for a moment of privacy. But instead, Irina goes over there and is snickering and laughing. And when she's caught, walks back like nothing has happened. And then you want me to suspend belief that you, as a 20-plus-year-old woman, did not know what you were doing was negatively impacting someone's emotions?
Oh, they knew. And also, you know how I know that? Because I thought, well, maybe, when you get around certain people that can influence you for the negative. I'm like, maybe Irina was
a bad influence.
Yeah, like this odd, factor. Then you meet Micah's friends. And I said, that Shelby girl.
That Shelby was the stuff of nightmares.
I said, girl, if you don't get out of here.
I'm like,
out of here.
Birds of a feather flock together.
Oh, for sure.
I was like, it's one thing that you chose Irina to be your buddy in the pod.
Shelby.
But I'm like, but there's a pattern running in your life.
I can see it.
And I'm like, 100% you are in the right crowd. You are in the crowd that you have chosen to be in your whole life.
This is intentional.
And I'm like, and it's not to say that Shelby's and I want you to understand, being a mean girl does not mean that you are a bad person.
I think so.
It means that you act poorly towards other people. And I say this because, like, I think Shelby was earnest in saying that she knew that this was not Micah's person. Mm-hmm. But I also think that Shelby needs help.
Oh, for sure.
I think Shelby is actually not a good friend of Micah's.
Oh, no.
Like, I think that the wedding showed it crystal clear. I think that the meeting showed it crystal clear. Mm-hmm. Because I think that if your friend, for example, if you came off this show and you said, this is the person I've chosen, I think I'm going to marry him, I would be courteous towards that person.
Yes.
I might tell you, you know what, babe? I feel like I want the best for you. And I don't know that this is it. Because she said that. That's totally fine. She's within her rights as the best friend to say that. I would have told you that, but I would have treated this person with the utmost respect.
Yes.
Because this is someone that you've chosen nonetheless. And I know that I'm a reflection of you in that moment. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would be like, Lola's really the best. Like, it's no surprise to me that you've chosen her. She's a wonderful human being. She's a gorgeous human being inside and out. Like, she is the pride and joy of our friend group. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to be like, oh, like, you?
It was so disrespectful. And the worst part was when Micah asked Paul, what do you think about what's going on? He's like, I really don't care about them. I love you. She's like, but she's like, you really should care about her feelings. I'm like,
what is this, the third grade?
I was like, I don't. I really don't.
And
I don't.
And times like that, I think that those were the moments that revealed parts of her character that Paul was like,
yeah,
no.
Because I agree with you. Like, I feel like the same thing would happen. I would be courteous to this person. And I feel like if I got out of pocket and I was rude to your man, I would expect a conversation of like,
you're not going to, right? I would be like, and that's the thing too. I wish Micah had during that and been like, hey, like you don't have to like him for me, but you are gonna respect him.
Very respectful.
Because again, we're a unit right now, and you disrespecting him is disrespecting me.
Oh, of course.
And I'm like, the fact that she didn't have that conversation and let her friends just run loose. I was like, you don't love that man.
Oh no, and for you to be like, oh, it's important for you to care what they think. Nicki Minaj said it best. You don't gotta like me, that's fine, but watch your mouth. Just watch your mouth. Respectfully.
I'm like, it was.
But they all give me hot mean girls. Like I'm telling you, Irina, Shelby. I think they. You know what?
I hate to say this. I feel like to be a hot mean girl, I feel like we have to, like society must universally agree that. Yeah. But you know what? Actually, they're looked at from the male gaze. So the men will.
Also, they're in Washington, so I'm not trying to be rude. They might be a Miami 5 and a 10 in Washington State. Granted, I know I might be a Miami 5, but I'm a Connecticut 8. I swear. But the point being, it gives me. I was told I was beautiful and I'm pretty, I'm hot and all this other stuff and I get attention. And so I feel like I have the license and the freedom to treat people like shit. Because like, what normal person would walk around saying things like that to their friend's fiance?
And then also too, it's like...
So and they laugh when they say no.
Right.
And say, oh, I
wanted it to go this way. This is exactly how I wanted it to go. Like and I go, you're a bad person.
Oh, you are.
Like, I'm like, you're a sicko. Like, this is your friend being hard. Like, no matter what, like, even if I didn't agree with you doing this and this man ended up saying this to you, seeing you cry and walk away from the altar, I need not say a word. My role is to go and support you.
Exactly.
I don't have to, oh my God, I'm so surprised. Like, her friend goes, I'm so surprised. She goes, I'm not. This is exactly how I wanted it to go. I'm like, you wanted your friend to be in tears. You wanted your friend to be embarrassed. You wanted your friend to sit up here before her friends and her family and take this L. That's how you wanted this to go. If in fact you didn't want them to get married, I think that you would want your friend to be the one who says no so that her dignity is upheld.
Exactly.
But this is exactly how you wanted this to go. It's giving that Shelby is not Micah's friend. Shelby is actually her enemy. She doesn't know.
Oh man, I sent you guys a video about like people having secret competitions with their friends.
Yes.
It's giving me Shelby's in a secret competition.
And
she's losing and she's like punching the air. Like, oh, she's gonna beat me to marriage. And then she's like, oh, she's not. I won this round. And I'm
exactly. I'm afraid of people who are secretly competing against me, who are secretly praying against me. Like, I'm telling you, like, yo, I'm scared. Like, I hope that this man says yes. I really have feelings for him. Da-da-da-da-da. And you to be like, this is exactly how I wanted it to go. We will never speak again. Never again.
I'd be like, you need to go kick rocks. Actually, I don't think I would say anything to you. I'd just be like, okay, I would notice. I've seen what I need to see. Immediately now.
I'm like, thank you. I'm like, thank you for revealing yourself so wonderfully.
Yeah, but like, I think I'm blessed where I don't have, like, I think sometimes you'll say something, I'm just like, who's hurt her? She's like, I gotta tread lightly. I guess I've never been hurt friendship-wise.
Girl.
I've been blessed. I swear.
You have.
Because I'm just like, this is some paranoia. I'm like, God help them. They're sick. And I'm like, no, they've been hurt. They've been taught by other people.
Unfortunately, like, but earnestly, Shelby, I'm like, you know, and I literally, when I was watching it, I was like, I'm so glad I don't have Shelby's in my circle like that.
I would, like, have to kick her out. I'd be like, I don't know who invited you to this party.
It's just not gonna work.
It's just, you got to go.
I'm like,
you don't gotta go home, babe.
But you got to get the out of here.
Out of here for sure. For sure.
Just, and you know what? I love the way Paul worded it, post altar.
Yes.
I loved it.
He said, I got your number. I got your number, bitch.
He pegged her.
He said,
he was like when I envisioned, he's like, particularly like her having kids or being my person in 10 years, he's like, I just couldn't see it because she just didn't have that in her. And I was like, I'm not saying it's not in her at all, but personally, I agree. I was like, when he said that, it made the whole picture came together. And I said, absolutely, Paul. Absolutely. And you know what, Paul? Good for you to stick into your guns. And I thought it was so ironic that he used the same line with Micah that he did with Amber. Like, I just want you to trust that what's good for me is going to be good for you. And that's ultimately the truth in relationships, because if you're not good for me, there's no way I can be good for you.
Oh, of course not. It won't work. It's like two puzzle pieces being forced together.
Exactly. It's just not going to work.
It just doesn't work.
But I love that he trusted himself and his analysis.
Good judge of character, Paul.
He's a good judge of character.
Yeah.
And I think when he watches this back, he's gonna have no regrets.
I really hope
the way that she behaved was not only disrespectful towards Kwame and Chelsea, it was disrespectful towards Paul. Mm-hmm. Like, multiple times she saw Kwame out and was like, "You regret it yet?" type vibes. And I'm like, there's no way that you love someone and you would do that. You just can't. You can't. You don't respect that man. You don't love that man. And I'm glad, because so many of his friends were like, but bro, dude, oh. I'm like, but you know what? Like, that's the hallmark of someone who knows themselves. When the whole room is saying, say yes, and you're like, no, I can't. Something is not right here. And you're going to see the playback and be like, thank God.
I dodged a bullet.
I dodged a bullet.
A huge bullet. So those were the 4 weddings. Only 3 people got married. And then the 5th couple, Jacqueline and Marshall. Oh, Jacqueline. Oh, Jacques. Oh, Jackie. Oh, Ginger Beans. Oh, Jay.
I think it's, you know what?
I never thought we would get somebody who would be more of a bigger gaslighter than the girl from last year. What is her name?
Zaynab.
When I tell you,
no, Zaynab was expert level though.
I really thought I would not get anyone as bad ever again. Cause I'm like, oh, he gave her an eating disorder. You watch the clip and you're like, he gave you a what now? A complex?
I'm like, you sure you didn't walk in with one of those?
Sure? Like, you just don't pick one up on the way. Like it's not how that works. And then seeing Jackie literally distort reality and gaslight the shit out of Marshall, I was punching the air. I was like, ah! I was like, bitch! You bitch! You bitch!
I'm like, yeah.
Bitch! You know that Chris Rock bit where he's like, everyone calls him a bitch, and then his mama calls him a bitch, and his friends, and I was like, bitch! And I don't even like calling women bitches, but I was like, bitch!
I will say, Jackie also did not surprise me. She acted to the letter of who I expected.
I really liked Jackie at first because I thought she was personality and all this other stuff, and the way she had clocked Irina, and I was like, oh, so you can sense when people are off. And okay, so Jackie, I don't know why I keep mixing.
Jackie.
We know a Jacques, and so like in my head I'm like Jackie.
So Jackie.
She's not Creole. She's not Haitian. The Haitians don't claim her.
We don't.
So Jackie was talking to Marshall and Josh, and then she ended up picking Marshall because Marshall was like, I'm crazy about you, you crazy about me, let's make it a thing. And I think she saw him and was initially not attracted. I think that's what the baseline was. And instead of just saying, no, she was like, let me just see if we can try it out. And it just unraveled. I
wish people would just be honest. You know what I'm waiting for Love is Blind? For someone to open the doors and be like, it's not gonna work. I'm serious. Save us all the headache. Like, at a certain age, I think you know, and I this is so bad because I don't have a type. I have a type. It's good looking to me.
It is definitely
and
a type.
I think when you walk into a room, you know if someone is good looking to you.
Oh, for sure.
And I think for the most part, women can be like, okay, I can work with it. But there's some people. Yeah.
I don't believe in like, if I close my eyes and squint and turn to the left and the sun is dimming down, he looks like Denzel. Open your eyes, bitch. It's not Denzel. And you know you gotta look at him with your eyes open in the sunlight. Listen, you cannot make it work.
Here's the thing. I'm like, Jackie's a beautiful girl. The minute I saw her on the outside. When I saw her and she was like, I haven't really been in relationships and she was talking, and I had this sinking pit that I had met a Jackie before.
Oh.
That was what made me like, cause you ever meet someone who is like, in the beginning, they seem so right.
Yes.
And then as you peel some layers back, you're like, this one's a little rotten. Like, you know what it was? Like, it was the way, when she first saw Marshall, I'm telling you, you know who's going to stay together on the look, the first time they meet each other. Like, you know. You can't fake attraction. And that's why I'm so confused that some of these go so wrong and for so long. Because I'm like, you know when you walk into a room who's looking at you and who's not. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, the minute she laid eyes on him, she was like, no. She was like, no. Especially when he did his little booty shaking on the way out. It was cute. It was funny, but not for her.
She was like, it's over. It's over.
She knew. We all knew. And I was like, Jackie from the hood, Jackie? No, she wasn't taking no booty shaking man. Okay? She wasn't. The minute he did that, I said, oh, it's really not going to work.
She's like, this is too much for me.
It was too much. And then also, too, I think that just the way that they behaved in the pods, Marshall displayed a level of emotional understanding and intelligence that she simply did not have.
She doesn't have any type of emotional intelligence or maturity. But when they went to Mexico, before she had a whole like meltdown or whatever, she was like, these are what I call like yellow flags, right? They're like, what's the best part of Mexico? She was, my tonto, right there.
I didn't like that.
I said, of all the cute Spanish nicknames, mi bebé, mi papicito, mi bombón de chocolate, el sol de mi corazón, el hombre de mi vida, Galabán, anything, all these nicknames, tonto.
But I will applaud him. I think that Marshall, again, just throughout the entire show, showed up as who he was, and he did not let this woman take him out of character. Because there were so many points where he could have been like, you know what, man, fuck you.
She's like, well, you know what you can do? You can go suck some dicks.
Right. I'm like, there's so much he could have said. And I think he rose to the occasion every time and was like, I'm just not going to meet you where you want me to meet you. And this whole be aggressive. I'm like...
We do have to discuss that. I do think that, unfortunately, Jackie voiced or vocalized a very common description of what women want in men, which is like aggressiveness. And I think we have equated aggressiveness to protective. And so, like, we want you to be aggressive, but when it happens, we're like, this is too much. Because they were having an argument, and he just simply went like this. She's like, who you clapping at? And I'm like, wait a second. You said you wanted aggressiveness, and a mere clap is too much for you. What do you want? Because you don't know what you want. But I also think it's very scary when women ask for that. I'm like, why do you like aggressiveness? Aggressiveness
but
is
you
not
want to
like
know
a
what
good
it
quality
is.
to have.
Marshall labeled it perfectly. He was like, she wants that toxic kind of love.
Yeah.
Like where we're fighting and she wants the rah-rah. And he was like, I'm looking for my piece. She's looking for a two-piece combo.
Yeah.
And he's like, I just don't got it in me. And I was like, you know what? Like, don't show up as that. You don't have to, because someone else is looking for their piece.
I wish he had left. I wish he had ended it. That was my only thing with Marshall. I feel like at one point in time, he was getting disrespected left and right. She was pretty much calling him a bitch. And at one point in time, she really was. She was dog walking him.
Yeah.
And I feel like at one point in time, yes, he was giving her grace. And other times he was like, you need to. I'm not telling you to, cuss her out, tell her where the sun don't shine, all this other stuff. But I think he should have been like, respectfully, I have tried to give you my all. You are not in the place to receive this type of love. We need to go our separate ways.
That part, you're not in the place to receive this kind of love. I think that would have been the perfect line. Like, just, you're not there yet. What you want, I'm not willing to revert into.
Yeah.
I can't go back. Like, I'm only trying to go forward. And I was like, and you know what? Like, I also feel like, because, it's come to light, she's like, I'm a big family person, rah, 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 rah. It's come to light, like that, her dad has cancer and all these things. And I was like, the way she kind of brought it up, like with E post, filming and everything, I was like, that doesn't excuse the behavior that you displayed, nor does it at all defend what, you've done to him since.
Oh, yeah.
The lack of remorse, it was almost sociopathic. Just no remorse. Oh, not only am I leaving you, I'm keeping the ring. I don't give a damn. Like, the whole ring thing, I didn't really care because Love is Blind did pay for it, but I think...
But it was her response that bothered me. She's
right.
Like,
it's a lack of respect. You don't respect me. You don't care.
She's like, I'm keeping it because at the time that I said yes, I wanted to marry you.
It's giving, I'm going to go pawn it off. I just want the money.
It's giving me, I need Jesus and a therapist. And she's being dragged on social media. And like you said, she's not backtracking. She's doubling down on things. And there was like some leaked text messages between her and her friend. And she said that she insinuated that Marshall was gay by saying like he has sugar in his tank. And I will tell you guys something right now. We here at the GSM, we're not the most politically correct people. And so to the LGBTQIA plus community, if at times we say things that are not educated, please be very much
inform us, but respectfully,
gracefully. But I will tell you something right now. That I don't have to be an expert to be like homophobic as fuck. First and foremost, stop throwing around someone being gay as an insult. That shit's not cute. We all watched the PSAs in 2005. When you say that something's gay, do you know what you mean by that? Like, what are you insinuating? That something bad to be gay? A. B, he's obviously not gay because in 2023, in the good year of our Lord, there is no reason to be gay and in the closet. And if he's in the closet, why are you trying to out him? Why?
But you know what, too, in addition to that, I'm like, it's the fact that you feel like, A, by saying he has sugar in his tank, he's emasculated.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, that's like saying every gay man, you know what I mean, is not really a man, you know what I mean, he has sugar in his tank. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's demeaning. But
plus, there are plenty of aggressive men who are on the down low. So don't take aggressiveness as the pinnacle of masculinity and the only sense or source of someone being heterosexual. People be walking the walk. No, they be talking the talk, but not walking the walk.
Come on now.
You might be sharing your man with another man, and you don't even know it.
And he might bring you what you bought to Mexico, herbs.
Oh my God.
Yep, that's the thing on the sheet. The herpaderp. And that's the thing too. I'm like, I feel like Jackie is there's no other way to say it but childish. Like, it's just very childish. Like, she's looking for fights. Like, she's just used to the toxicity. She wants to be boxing with someone for the rest of her life.
Oh, well, she needs to find someone.
And she's gonna, maybe she found it in Josh. She already got the cauliflower ear. Like, maybe she found it in Josh. Like,
maybe her and fake Drake.
Right. If y'all want to scrap for the rest of your days, do that. But I'm like, just the lack of emotional maturity is astounding.
And empathy. But I'm telling you, when I saw those text messages, I'm like, let a man go, Paolo was a little rough around the edges. She was like a cart muncher or something like that. I'd be like, whoa, back it up, boy. So I wasn't for you, and so you assume I'm a lesbian. A, wrong. B, what's wrong with being a lesbian? C, you need some help because you're the problem, not me.
But also, the part that was really heartbreaking is that as a man of color, they were talking about this previously when they were in the honeymoon stage, like, it's a big, big deal to talk about emotions and be there. So I applaud Marshall for going through whatever he's gone through in life that made him comfortable enough to be able to express emotions and articulate them so masterfully. And it's still a very vulnerable thing of him to do. Mm-hmm. So for him to have someone he felt like he could trust and show his full self to, for you to turn around and say, because you were vulnerable with me, you are well, you're not man enough. You're not this. You're not that. It's so toxic.
It's and I'm like, recognizing someone's like deepest, truest form.
Right. And I'm like, and what's worse is like, to this day, like, men still are very much committing suicide. Like, I'm like, let's not add to that stereotype. Like, let's be safe places for men in general. Like, you're allowed to have emotions as a man. You're allowed to share those emotions without feeling like one day it's going to be used against you, weaponized. Like, that's not fair. You're a human being. You are allowed to feel joy and express it, whether it's through dance, through poorly, sung song. Like, do it in whatever way that you feel is fit for you. Express yourselves. We support that here at the GSM podcast because we're losing way too many people to holding on to feelings that they feel like they don't have the right to express or that they can't express because they're not in safe places. Like, you're a human being. you're safe to have emotions. That's as far as it goes for me. And so when she did that, that to me broke my heart, because it just validated so many men's excuses as to why they can't be vulnerable, why they can't be present emotionally in their partner, in their children's, in their personal lives.
And have to be this extra, like, big, bravo, aggressive man.
Right.
That we're saying we don't want, because it's detrimental to women.
Right.
For you to be this aggressive, like, all the time, macho man.
Detrimental to self, detrimental to women, detrimental to everyone. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that she just reiterated that, I was just so sorry for him. Mm-hmm. I was so sorry for him. And I know without a shadow of a doubt, Marshall's gonna find someone incredible. And I'm like, and Jackie,
DMs are flooded.
Oh, they're flooded. He's about to see the inside of panties he would have never saw.
First of all, the amount of comments like, I hope he's single, I hope he's single, I said, Jackie, you have, done the right thing. The only right thing you did was let that man go. Because now he can find his true love.
He will find somebody. And you know what? Ultimately, at the end of the day, for everyone in Love is Blind, I just hope that everyone finds their person. I hope that everybody finds their person in life in general. But, yeah. I think that watching this has made Shake's point more valid every season.
Love is blurry.
She's a blurry son of a gun, that love.
She's very confusing.
She is.
And flighty, apparently.
Very much so. But also, I'm like, yeah, I think that as we see it every season, I think it's very easy to fall in love without having seen someone. I think we do it all the time, actually. Mm-hmm. But I think what makes Love is incredible is being able to fully see someone as a whole person, and decide that you still want to stick around.
Yeah.
So let us know, guys, how y'all felt about this season. Share your comments about the couples, the contestants. What did you think? Did you share some of our thoughts? Do you feel like we were playing therapists here? Because some people online are like super therapists. Yes. There was one girl in particular who was like, Kwame is pursuing, Micah, because in actuality, those are all of his insecurities. I didn't do all that there, I was like, Jesus, but she might have been right. I'm not gonna lie. She was very well-rounded there. But let us know what y'all thought in the comments. And as usual, we will be waiting to engage with y'all.
Alrighty, see you in the next time. Bye.